can you have more than one seller account on Amazon? I get that question all the time, and in today's video, I'm going to answer it and show you exactly how to set it up in the best way possible. Welcome to the channel today. My name is Ben. If you're here for the first time, I'm a full-time brand builder, founder of brandbuilderuni.com, where our mission is to help you build a brand that you own and a life that you love. And so if that's what you want to do, make sure you hit that subscribe button and you'll be well on your way. Okay, so the issue of multiple Amazon seller accounts. It's talked about because people understand that the Amazon seller account is a bit of an asset, right? You can generate incredible sales volume through it. It's the pathway to a business that frees you from that grip that money places over time. There's so much that can come from that Amazon account, so you want to protect it. And also Amazon at times can be a little bit aggressive with their bringing of listings and suspensions and that kind of thing. It's way better than maybe sometimes people make it out to be, but there are always risks when you have so much volume coming through one platform. So people ask the question, can I have multiple accounts to diversify my risk? Now, there are reasons to have multiple accounts and reasons not to, which I'll get into, but the long and the short of it is, yes, you can have multiple accounts. Recently, I went to start up a new account for a new business, and I went to Amazon and said, hey, can I set up this new account? And they said, actually, you don't need to ask for permission anymore. We don't mandate that Amazon sellers ask us for permission. What you need to do is make sure you comply by the rules. And in short, the rules, which you should definitely check for yourself because they can always be updated. But in general, the rules that I've found to be true so far are as long as, number one, you are setting this up as a separate legal entity. So therefore, if you are running this as just a personal account in your own name, you couldn't have a second account. But if you set this up as an LLC or a limited company, then you can have a separate LLC in the US or a separate limited company in the UK and have a separate account for that purpose. Number two, you also need to make sure that it's got its unique payment details. So the bank card that you put into Amazon to pay your initial monthly fee. And if you were ever unable to make payments on it, that's what they take the payments from. That needs to be unique. And then finally, you need to make sure that you're not selling the exact same SKUs between the two accounts. You can sell in the same category, but you just can't sell exactly the same products. Those are really the reasons or the legalities, if you will, behind it. So yes, you definitely can have an Amazon seller account, more than one seller account. But the question, of course, is should you? People often will say, well, I want a separate account for diversification or because I want to sell different products. But it's important to note that your Amazon seller account really does act like a container for all of your Amazon sales if you desire it to. Just because you're going to set up a different brand, you might have a fitness brand and you want to now set up a baby brand, you don't have to create a new business and a new seller account in order to do that. In fact, your accountant will probably tell you just keep it in the same business because it'll be less administration for you, less fees. And so that's an easier way to do it. You can sell as many brands, you can have multiple brand registries all within the same Amazon seller account. So you can streamline your life that way if you want. However, there are, of course, a few reasons you might want to set up a different entity and therefore a different account. That might be because of a different ownership structure. You might be going into business with a business partner, so therefore you're creating a new legal entity. So there you want to create a new Amazon account, or you may just be setting this brand up to sell one day and you want to just make it really clean and tidy from the beginning. Of course, these are reasons that you can delve into as the time comes. But if you did want to do any of those things and therefore you wanted to set up a secondary account, assuming all of those things are in place and you don't go against any of the guidelines Amazon gave that previously stated, then you should be absolutely fine. So of course, the final question is, how do I actually go about doing this? How do I go about setting it up? And I want to teach you a little bit of a hack that, I didn't actually know about for a long time and can save you so much time and energy. This is actually about productivity. This isn't about IP addresses or anything like that. Because again, one of the questions I often get is, well, Ben, do I need a VPN? Do I have to use separate IP addresses for the different accounts? And my experience with that personally has been no, there's not been an issue. If there was an issue with IP addresses in that way and having to use VPNs, that kind of thing, then you'd never be able to work in a public place. Like you'd never be able to work in a cafe or work in a library or anything like that, for fear that if you connect to the internet and another Amazon seller has done the same, then it's going to be impending shutdown on your account. That's not the reason that you set this up in this way. It's more an act of convenience and productivity. And what you do is that you want to set yourself up as a super user across all of the accounts you own. Let's take an example that you have 2 accounts. You have one account that you've been selling on and you want to start a new account, and so you are going to set that up. When you get that set up though, they're going to be 2 completely separate accounts, and in order to manage both of those accounts, you're going to have to log out of this one and then log into this one, log out of this one, log into this one. And it's going to be a little bit of a nightmare. If you've got the Amazon seller app, if you want to refresh for your sales 25 times an hour, then you're going to have to log out of the app and log in again. However, there's a solution to all of this, and that is creating yourself as a super user across the accounts. So what you do when you've got your new account set up, you come to Seller Central, you go to settings, and you go to user permissions, and that is going to bring up a screen like this. When the user permissions screen loads up, you're going to see this, and you can see here name, email address of current users that we've got with permissions on our account. You want to come down to the add a new user, and you want to come in and add your name here, and you want to add your email address, hello@me.com, whatever. This needs to be a separate email address to the main email address of the account. You can just use your personal email address. You could set up a dedicated business email, whatever you wanted to do. You can set like a unique one for you up there. Click invite. That's going to send an email to that email address for you to accept the invitation into the account. And then you're going to be in there with very basically no permissions within the account. So you want to come to manage permissions. This, the top one here is the account owner, obviously. So I can't delete that because that's the main account. But this one here, this is actually these are my permissions. This is my super user login, manage permissions. And as you can see, all of the top level permissions are assigned here. So I would just come through and just click the highest level possible, admin, 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 on all of these sections all the way down to make sure I've got complete access to everything I need when managing these accounts. I would save that. Then I'll log into the other account, set myself up as a super user on that account, assign full permissions to that one. So then I have full permissions on both accounts through the sub user, the super user. I'm never going to need to mostly log in through the main user accounts. Very rarely. I will just continue to log in every day through my normal super user account, and I can then use the drop down menu to access any of the accounts at any time, all from one login. Never have to log out. It just saves so much time. The only time that you might have to log into the main account is on like very high level stuff like taxes or just things where it has to be like the account owner, integrating tools, and that sometimes that needs the main account holder. So there's a few little bits that you might need to do from it, but on the whole, you can pretty much do everything from your super user account. You can manage many accounts through this. We actually have our 3PL logged in and have user permissions to help us setting up shipping plans inside our accounts. And so I imagine they must be, his drop down, he must have like hundreds of different accounts that he can access. So there is no problem with you accessing multiple accounts through this super user if you set it up in the right way, in a legitimate way. Amazon aren't trying to stop you having multiple accounts. They're just trying to stop you game the system. So in this video, I've showed you the way to set it up that's super productive, that keeps you in Amazon's good books and helps you have another Amazon account to help you keep growing your private label businesses. If you've liked this video, if you found it helpful in any way at all, definitely do give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and there will be plenty more content coming your way. And I will see you in the next video real soon.